What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Media Studio at the Cinema Center at South by Southwest 2025. I am beyond thrilled to be sitting with the team behind The Threesome. I'll start by saying huge congratulations on your movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Thank you.
So, I know about The Threesome, but our audience is first going to learn about it through the festival. Give you these wonderful honors. Can you give us a brief synopsis of your film?
Yes, The Threesome is about a young man, Connor, who gets thrust into a unexpected threesome with his longtime crush, Olivia, and a new stranger they've met, Jenny. And then about all the cascading complications that come from that threesome.
Accurate description. I will warn everyone, there's a whole lot more to it than that. I wanted to start by asking about something that's in your director's statement that kind of caught my eye. I think you started it. I think it's the first line of your director's statement. You said the romantic comedy is back. What do you think that recent romantic comedies have been missing that you were so excited to bring back via this film?
Yeah, I was really just manifesting with that director's statement. The romantic comedy needs to be back. I think it's back. I did feel that the movies that have sort of taken the center stage in this renaissance have been the ones that tend to be more wish fulfillment and fantasy driven and like idealized versions of love and romance made for the movies, which we all love. But one thing that was missing is a take on it that was a bit more grounded and elevated and sophisticated and looked at it and wasn't afraid to really take a concept that was maybe made for the movies, but examine how would people really deal with these situations and keep the characters focused and have all the humor come from the characters and not from set pieces and things like that.
Great success in that respect. I really appreciated the grounded and textured nature of the film, if that makes much sense. There's another thing I wanted to ask about from, I believe this is also in your director's statement, and I'll pose this to the entire group because I kind of love this idea, and I'll apologize. I'm going to read a lot. You were talking about this script coming your way during lockdown, and you mentioned that you were retreating to all of your favorite comfort movies to get you through the uncertain days and nights. And I'm going to keep reading because I really like this next part. At that point in time, I was convinced that there may be nothing more noble in cinema than giving an audience an enjoyable 90 minutes to forget their problems. I think that's such an important thing that I have to imagine everyone can relate to. So can each of you name either a film or a show that you retreat to when, it's a darker day and you just got to power through it?
Anchorman.
Oh, good choice.
The Holiday.
Also good choice.
Go for another one. It's a Wonderful Life. Anchorman. Bringing Up Baby.
Bottoms.
Bottoms for sure.
I think 30 Rock. Yeah.
It's a good one too.
My most rewatched movie of all time is Can't Hardly Wait.
Speaking to my heart right now. I still have, now I'm going to date myself. I still have my CD of that soundtrack.
It's an incredible
VHS tape,
soundtrack.
for that matter.
Yes.
It's one of the best. It introduced me to the Gin Blossoms.
I think we all agree that movies and culture peaked in 1998 when Can't Hardly Wait came out. Am I right? No? All right.
All right. I'm thinking of Gin Blossoms is Empire Records. I can't mix that up. But I do have both VHS tapes and both CDs.
My best friend's wedding. I rewatched that a lot, and it's not to forget my problems, but it is to cry. That movie makes me cry. That's such a beautiful movie.
Sometimes you need that. Chad, I'll come back your way to start digging into some of the details here. So you are working with Ethan's script here. Can you maybe tell me what space you saw in his original script that you thought you could fill in a way that's unique to you as a filmmaker?
That's a good question. I mean, there was so much that I admired about the script when I first read it, because at first I thought it was genuinely funny, and you get a lot of comedy scripts that are not, and it feels like the ethos is, we'll make it funny later. But this one was genuinely funny. And the thing that I thought was most special about it was that there's so many complications and conflicts, but nobody ever makes a decision that I couldn't personally understand or defend. I knew exactly why this person was mad at that person, but I also understood exactly why that person could be defensive about their actions. And I think it's one of the hardest things to do as a writer is to kind of have equal weight to both sides of movie conflicts and have it be up to the viewer to see where they want to land. So I just thought it was so non-judgmental. And it really just gave me an opportunity to feel like I could work with great actors in a genre that I love and make something that was fun and light, because the movie I made before this, which I'm very proud of, was a bummer of a movie. It was a very melancholy movie, and I really wanted to do something lighter.
You got some of the best right here. I'm going to highlight all your characters. Zoey and Jonah, I'll come your way first because it feels like the relationship between your characters is kind of like the spine of the movie, and you have to convey so much history between them without actually spelling it out. Here's how I'll get at that. Can you each tell me the first thing you saw in the other that signaled to you, like, you are the Olivia to my Connor and vice versa?
It's such a nice question. I think there's so much about her that he admires. I think he aspires to be a lot of things that she is, self-confident and smart and the boss and funny. Like he has a line in the film where he says, you're the funny one. And I think he just really looks up to her. One single word would be he loves her effervescence.
Effervescence is a good one there. I like
I've been
that.
trying to say that all day, and so it's the perfect time to yeah.
I think she obviously presents very self-confident, but she's, in my opinion, quite insecure. And he brings out a very soft side of her, like opens up a space for her to be more vulnerable, as uncomfortable as that is for her. And I think a word to describe how she feels about him and what he makes her feel is secure. And in love, that is such a valuable thing, to feel safe with someone and secure. I think that's what he makes her feel like. It's going to be okay and cozy and secure.
Very well put, very accurate. I like asking this question a lot, but in particular, I wanted to ask it about Jenny here because with this threesome, I guess in the beginning, she's like a little more of a mystery in terms of, who she is personally and how she fits into this group ultimately. So did you have, I guess I'll call it like an aha moment, like something you did in prep or early in the days of filming that made you say to yourself, like I know who my Jenny is now?
I did, but it would give things away.
It's understandable.
Because a lot of Jenny's journey, I think, is figuring out who she is. She is, she's young and sort of has been in the same world. She's lived in Arkansas all of her life. And she's really on a journey of figuring out who that person is. And there is an aha moment, but I can't tell you.
Don't say it right now. I feel like I can guess around when that might happen.
I can tell you that Ruby does a lot of research in advance, and even a month before we were shooting, she was texting me things and wanting to read more about things, and it was very impressive.
You provided me books too. You sent me books in the mail, textbooks.
On acting.
I have so many follow-up questions that I know I can't ask right now. We will save that when we get to celebrate the movie even further down the line, which I know is going to happen. Jaboukie, I'm so excited to ask you this question because one of my favorite things about this movie is that I guess you embrace some familiar things about the romantic comedy, something that keeps me coming back to the genre and makes it kind of feel like a safe space, but it's also got these really unique touches to it that makes it stand out. So you are essentially playing the best friend, and there's many best friends in rom-coms that I love, love, love. Are there any past rom-com best friends that you kept in mind? But then I also want to know something you wanted to do to make Greg uniquely your own.
Wow. I mean, a movie of best friends, I think Bridesmaids is just like a great comp that I was bringing to this in terms of it being hilarious, but then it also coming from the amount of empathy and identification you feel with the characters, where you're just so hanging on to what they're gonna do next, that they surprise you, they disappoint you, you root for them. I think that groundedness is what really attracted me to this script in the first place. And then also, I haven't even mentioned this yet, but my best friend in high school was named Connor. So I was a gay best friend to a straight Connor before. And I really brought all of that depth to this character, I think. Yeah.
This was meant to be.
I was going method for years.
Perfection
Yeah.
in the role. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yet another thing that was kind of inspired by your director statement, Chad, because like, you made a point that you wanted this movie to be something that people can lean on when times are tough. And like, I love films, but I also love filmmaking, and I'm a big believer that you should have those kinds of experience while you're making the movies that we fall in love with. So for each of you, can you single out, I guess, the day making the threesome that, I don't know, kind of brought you the most joy, or I don't know, made you hopeful about the future of independent filmmaking?
There was a day where it snowed really bad and the roads were super icy, and it was like dangerous to drive down some of the roads, and someone's car got stuck, and Jonah gets out of the car and pushes the car out of the ice. And I was like, that is a leading man. This movie is going to do well. Like that. I was like, that's the hottest thing anyone has ever done. Like, we are in good hands. And I really felt confident in the project after that.
Yeah.
And it was his car, by the way. He can drive. Another great thing.
Definitely a plus.
Yeah.
I love that memory. I forgot about that. That was really sweet.
That was a good time. That was a good time.
That was really cute.
I like so much. All of the film was shot on location, and a lot of the time we were pretty nimble with how we moved around Little Rock, and would shoot sometimes 3, 4, even 5 locations in a day, right? And I loved that style of filmmaking because it felt obviously very. It was very planned, but also felt kind of reactive in a really fun way. Like, so much of what we were doing was being inspired by our surroundings, and you get that in independent filmmaking in a way that you don't with big studio films, where everything is so planned to a T. And obviously there's a balance to strike, but I think it's kind of an old cliche now, but problem solving and being really spontaneous in the moment, and finding solutions to whatever issues you're having was really, I love that side of it, and I had that in spades on this one.
I can't pick one. This was one of the most joyous, lovely, fun work environments I've ever been a part of. Thanks to you. The crew in Little Rock were unbelievable, so beautiful, collaborative, lovely. I loved our first moment together at Target. That was a real bonding moment.
Huge.
Where we bought, I embarrassed him. I bought the doll of him from The Little Mermaid. But a little fun fact that I remembered is that in the film, Chad's children, who play the children in the movie, are smashing him, the doll of him. Yeah. So
Easter egg.
that's not my favorite, but I just wanted to make sure.
That is her favorite. That is her
Very
favorite.
amusing Easter egg.
My favorite moment of bonding was when the children were smashing my dear friend Jonah's face. It was beautiful, but no, it was that was funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I had never been to Target, by the way, and that was an extremely. Well, I don't live here.
I
And
was like,
it
"You've
was
never been to Target?"
truly the most exciting experience. They don't do that over in the UK. Not like that, where you can buy everything
You got
under the sun.
Tesco's.
We bought all these different disgusting drinks, like the gnarliest, like Snicker and
Milky Way.
milky, like disgusting, and we sampled them. It was a whole lot of fun.
And bought like 2 sweaters as well. So it was like the perfect day.
What
Pillows.
a shopping list. I want to know who checked you out and what they thought of everything you put on that conveyor belt.
It's all totally normal to them. Target.
I'll say that something that comes to mind is that at some point during the shoot, I had played Jonah some music that the composer was working on, because the composer starts working on music for me from the beginning. And Jonah was like, I have a song that I think kind of fits into the same world. And so I went to his hotel room and he played it for me. And I was like, that song is so great. Let's put it in the movie. And so 2 days later, we were filming in the recording studio, and we did one take where he just played his song live, and we put it in the movie. And it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. And something that I always like to do is try to mine the real talents of the people at your disposal to like anything that can make the movie richer and more unexpected. And that was a moment that really felt like, and I was so happy also that he was willing to just like open up himself for that and offer that to the movie. And it really felt like everybody was such a selfless group trying to make the best movie possible.
It's one of the best qualities to have in a team of filmmakers.
Wait, what is that place called? Is it called Hot Spring?
Hot Springs.
Hot Spring, Arkansas. What is that? What's the town is called? We took a little day trip and went to some baths and some hot springs, and it was so beautiful, so fun to have like a car ride sort of road trip with these people, and then also get to experience like the day trip that these characters would have taken. Like they live in Little Rock, and having that little escape and getting to see Arkansas in such a sweet, intimate way was really nice. That was a really beautiful trip. And seeing those views, we went on that hike. Oh my God.
So fun.
That was really fun.
We got barbecue. It was great.
Yeah.
And barbecue. Make me
yeah,
want to go there now.
Yeah, and the flight of beer was a great
It was a perfect
And a flight
day.
of beer.
We tasted a bunch of IPAs.
Speaking to my heart with like all the movie recommendations and now all this. I love it. I got to wind down with you all soon. I have to squeeze in 2 questions about upcoming projects. Joan, I'm coming your way first. I love all movies, but horror movies are my number one. And I'm a kid of like the 90s and early 2000s. You know where I'm going with this one.
I do.
I know what you did last summer. I also adore Leah and have like all the faith in anything she writes. Here's how I'll get at this. Can you tell me something about the new movie that will appease the hardcore fans, like basically give me more of what I already love, but also tell me something about this new movie that maybe adds to it in a way I'm not expecting?
The older fans will be appeased by Jennifer Love Hewitt and
You just
Freddie
call me
Prinze Jr. Older.
I'm just kidding.
The fans of the older movie. That's the second time I've done that today. What's wrong with me?
He's ageist.
This
I don't
is
know.
really bad.
It's all out of
I'm
him.
not even young. Freddie Prinze Jr., Jennifer Love Hewitt, they're back. They're back to help. Never mind. So they're back, and the fisherman is back, or fisherwoman. Don't know.
Who knows?
I do. And the new, I think the thing that I like about the new one is Leia's writing, and also then a writer called Sam Lansky has come onto this, and the director is called Jen Robinson, who made Do Revenge and a few great films. And I do think, we were talking about this earlier, that there's a new, it's happened for a long time, but really this trend of horror movies treading that line between horror and comedy, that's really fun and exciting because they exist in quite a similar visceral space. And I do think the original has a lot of comedic fun moments, but I think this one really leans into it and is very self-referential, knows what it is, and it's super scary and frightening, but also I think hilarious. Like Madeline Klein is in the film and she really stands out as a real comedic actor. So that's something to look out for.
A+T is horror comedies are thriving this year. And I'm just absolutely loving it with like Hard Eyes, The Monkey, and then I got that to look forward to. I can't wait. Zoe, I'm coming your way now. I got to ask about your new movie with Richard Linklater. It's obviously high on my mind because one of the first times we ever spoke was here at this festival for Everybody Wants Some. And one of the things I'm really curious about is how different that movie seems from this new movie you made, Nouvelle Vague. Can you tell me maybe, I guess, like a new layer you saw in him as a filmmaker by shifting to something so completely different just in terms of, you know, content and what that story is? I was also reading that maybe it was shot in black and white. There's just so many curious little details about it.
It's a remarkable kind of journey and thing for me because he mentioned it to me for the first time when we were shooting Everybody Wants Some 10 years ago. So, and in passing, he's a very... It's all in passing. It's not like, and so you gotta listen really carefully to what he says. I've learned, but he said in passing, you know, I think I'm gonna make this movie, and I want you to play Gene, and I'm like, okay. And 10 years later, I mean, he's been working on it for 10 years, so to be able to work with him again and have and to know how important this movie has been to him to make, it's just really exciting, and I'm such a big fan, and I just am very, very excited for for it to come out. I'm so proud of him. I think he's a genius, and I respect so much how he just does exactly what he wants to do, not what anybody wants him to do. He is a true artist, keeps trying new things, and I'm very inspired by him. So
big part of the reason why I keep coming back to his work always. And I love horror movies, love movies about making movies, and I love romantic comedies, again, that have like such like real weight and gets me so invested in the core characters. I was so impressed by this. Huge congratulations on the threesome, and enjoy celebrating.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.